Risto, as you've been working with startups, very small companies, growth companies, and also with giant players in the economic field, could you tell a bit about your experiences, why risk management and scenario planning is important for today's corporations?
Well, there are of course many reasons why they are important, but let's start with one that is not necessarily obvious.
Yeah.
All companies at least should want to grow. And of course you can grow in two ways. You can do growth by acquisitions or through transactions, which is sort of easy to do but difficult to implement and integrate. And there are a lot of risks involved in that, and you need to be very careful how you do that. But then organic growth. One could easily think that it's not a risk management topic, but actually it's nothing else.
One question that I'm really interested in is that often it feels like that the top management, the chairmen and the CEOs and the top management often leaves the assessments of big sort of decisions or scenario assessments and risk assessments to the experts or maybe to the middle management to figure out. But how do you feel about this question? Should the top management actually conduct the assessments every now and then themselves properly?
Well, at least they need to initiate those projects, they need to participate in them, and they need to lead them. But
exactly.
Then you should involve a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's the technical challenge. How do you involve a huge number of people in a productive way, so that the great ideas that bubble from, underneath, that they actually become understood at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not always easy, and we need great tools for that.
Yeah.
And Inclus is a sort of a democratic tool.
Yeah.
Because once the ideas or the challenges or the risks or whatever you are analyzing are in the system, it doesn't matter whether it came from the CEO or from the janitor. It's just the same kind of a representation in the system. Then you can start analyzing that, for example, looking at what are the biggest short-term impacts. What are the biggest negative impacts overall? What's the difference between the biggest short-term impacts and the biggest long-term impacts, and why? And you sort of get to look at that space of answers, that multidimensional space from a number of points of view, and all of those points of view will give you richer understanding of that topic. And I think that's one of the benefits of using Inclus, because then you have that opportunity to view the data from any angle you want.
While using Inclus in quite difficult and sort of high-profile processes like you've done, in your mind, what have been the key benefits so far using Inclus in your particular projects?
Well, the key benefits are that you can engage a large number of people at the best, most convenient time to them, one by one.
Exactly.
To provide information, to analyze information, and then you have a tool that makes it very easy for you to understand the outcome. And one aspect that I really like as well is once you have set a course, or something that we expect to happen, our action plans, then you can also start tracking how well you are doing. And you can see how, for example, if you're doing risk management, how certain risks are coming up or going down, and then you can shift your resources so that the upcoming risks get more attention, and the risks that are becoming less likely, they get less resources. Or you can track an action plan. You can see over time as people, let's say on a monthly basis or weekly basis, they will fill in the questionnaire. You can see that, okay, it seems that for these action items we are doing really well, for these action items we have not even started, and so forth. It doesn't replace a project management application, but for strategic thinking purposes, it is actually a much better tool.